Previously on the Vampire Diaries, to save Damon from a werewolf venom infection, Stefan reverted to his Ripper ways and left Mystic Falls with Klaus. They searched for traces of werewolves together so Klaus could create more hybrids. Meanwhile, Carol discovered Caroline was a vampire and shot her with vervain. Elena, Damon, and Alaric prepared to head to Tennessee to find Stefan. A rabid werewolf suddenly appeared in the forest, just as Elena, Damon, and Alaric were searching for the wolf pack. Alaric's newly developed grenades came in handy, and together they managed to subdue the frenzied werewolf. But it was obviously not yet full moon, and the werewolf had already entered the transformation stage. It seems that Klaus's blood has caused the werewolf's transformation to go out of control. Their original plan was to find Stefan before the full moon, but plans can't keep up with the changes. With the wolf pack here on the verge of going berserk, Elena suggested they retreat from the area. Meanwhile, Tyler stormed in to confront his mother, demanding to know Caroline's whereabouts. Carol decided to come clean, telling him outright that she would not allow her son to mingle with vampires. Tyler questioned in a tough manner.
Where is she, Mom?
I can't let you be together.
What did you do to her? Where is she?
You can't be with her.
Tyler let out a bitter laugh. I'm one of those monsters you're talking about too. On the other side, Jeremy had been tormented by the ghost of his ex-girlfriend, Vicky. He found a method online for summoning spirits, but it required one of Vicky's personal belongings and the blood of a relative. Vicky's brother, Matt, thought the whole idea was ridiculous and refused to cooperate with Jeremy. But after Jeremy left, Vicky's photo suddenly stood up on its own, prompting Matt to change his mind. Elena, Damon, and Alaric had yet to escape the forest when they were blocked by a vicious wolf. Damon had no choice but to sacrifice himself to lure the wolf away. With the power of the full moon behind it, the werewolf was more than Damon could handle. Fortunately, Stefan arrives in time and quickly pulls out the werewolf's heart. Stefan scolded Damon for risking Elena's safety, but Damon countered by asking why Stefan had even called Elena. If Stefan wanted to leave, he should stop giving her hope.
Give up on you. Was he asked to?
The hybrid transformation failed because Elena is still alive. To protect her, Stefan insisted that Damon, no matter what, must prevent Elena from looking for him again. And so, Stefan watched them leave from a distance. Inside the car, Elena thought she saw a figure in the distance, but in the blink of an eye, Stefan had disappeared, and Elena dismissed it as her imagination. On the other side, Tyler dragged his mother down to the cellar and, right before her eyes, demonstrated the process of transforming into a werewolf. Carol screamed in terror, realizing for the first time that she had married into a werewolf family. Matt brought Jeremy his sister's belongings, just as they were hesitating whether or not to summon her spirit. Vicky's ghost appeared. However, only Jeremy could see her. Vicky told Jeremy that she could come back to life, but she needed their help. As Jeremy was about to tell Matt, Anna, who had not communicated with Jeremy for a long time, finally appeared. It turned out that Anna and Vicky were not on the same side.
Don't trust Vicky.
Based on how Vicky and Anna behaved when they were alive, Anna seemed more trustworthy, but Vicky was Jeremy's first love, and that weighed heavily on him. When Stefan brought back the werewolf's corpse, Klaus was sitting amidst a pile of bodies, drowning his sorrows in alcohol. He had personally slaughtered his own army, and months of effort had gone to waste. Stefan didn't dare tell Klaus that Elena was still alive. Klaus poured his blood into the wine to help Stefan detoxify. Before leaving, Klaus looked around at the werewolf corpses scattered on the ground, as if he were looking at his own children. As a hybrid of vampire and werewolf, he was a freak in the eyes of both species.
It appears you're the only comrade I have left.
Damon proactively admitted to Elena that he was wrong. Stefan hadn't turned off his humanity, he could still be saved. Damon promised Elena that he would bring Stefan back.
You could come and
Thank you.
try to chase it crazy.
But before I do, I need you to answer one question. What made you change your mind?
What do you mean?
You were so hell-bent on staying on that mountain, and you just gave up, so what changed your mind?
We were under attack, Damon.
You had a bag full of weapons and a teacher with an eternity ring. Could have kept going.
It was too dangerous.
It was too dangerous going out there to begin with, so what was it?
Elena didn't want to admit that she was giving up on this chance to find Stefan because she was worried about Damon's safety. The truth was, she had already developed feelings for him.
Thanks.
Yes, I worry about you. Why do you even have to hear me say it?
I just wanna feel alive.
Because when I drag my brother from the edge and deliver him back to you, I want you to remember the things you felt while he was gone.
Is this another confession from Damon? He is willing to help Elena find Stefan, but at the same time, he hopes that Elena will not forget how she feels about him at this moment. It seemed Damon wanted to compete fairly with Stefan. At dawn, Tyler, now back to his human self, woke up. Mother and son stared at each other for a long time. What mother doesn't love her own child? Carol promised she would bring Caroline back. Carol immediately contacted Bill to negotiate for Caroline's return, but Bill was not willing to let things go so easily. When Caroline woke up, she found herself imprisoned in a dark, sunless cell. A large figure opened the cell door. When Caroline saw the man's face, her mind went blank. Her father, Bill, first removed her daylight ring and then took out a bag of fresh blood. Black veins spread across Caroline's eyes. This was her vampire instinct, but Bill expressed his disappointment.
This is how I'm gonna fix you.
As Caroline writhed in agony under the sun's scorching rays, she begged for mercy, and only then did Bill close the window. Although Caroline was a vampire, she had never hurt anyone. She could usually control her bloodlust, but Bill wanted more. He wanted his daughter not just to control it, but to feel repulsed by the sight of blood. Bill tempted Caroline with a blood bag again, but how could she easily control her instincts? Caroline tried to convince her father that it was impossible, but Bill was convinced it could be done. He urged his daughter to remember this feeling, and with that, he opened the window again. Bill is trying to establish a conditioned response in his daughter, associating bloodsucking with pain. The light therapy lasted all day, and Caroline was tortured to the point of being unable to beg for mercy. Bill was deeply disappointed. He confessed that when he learned his daughter had become a vampire, he cried. Bill tempted Caroline with the blood bag once more. To his surprise, this time it had an effect. Caroline's eyes didn't darken with veins, but she couldn't bear to look directly at the blood bag. Bill was overjoyed and encouraged Caroline to hold on. Caroline's face twisted in pain as she tearfully questioned her father.
Why are you trying to fix me?
So I don't have to kill you.
Though she had been subjected to inhumane torture by her father, Caroline understood his reasons and even apologized to him. Caroline was too considerate. Though she had done nothing wrong, the sun had set, and Bill gently stroked his daughter's hair, assuring her that they would succeed tomorrow. After Bill left the dungeon, he was surprised to find his wife coming in, looking like she was ready to fight. Bill disowns his daughter, but Sheriff Forbes accepts Caroline's identity as a vampire. On Sheriff Forbes' signal, Tyler moved in to rescue Caroline. Bill tried to stop them, but he never imagined his wife would actually fire a gun. In the end, Tyler successfully rescued the weakened Caroline. Today's events left Caroline silent and withdrawn, so her mother tried to comfort her. Our family's belief in eradicating vampires has been upheld for generations. Your father will change. Seeing Tyler coming, Sheriff Forbes sensibly left.
Thanks for believing in me. So you can see that
Would now be a bad time to give you crap about sneaking out on me?
maybe I had.
After the failure of his hybrid plan, Klaus took Stefan to Chicago. There was a witch there who could help him unravel the mystery, and also help Stefan rediscover his true self. But Stefan couldn't remember anything about his time in Chicago. Back then, Stefan was a true devil, doing whatever he pleased without any boundaries. He tormented countless young girls and beautiful women. He flirted. He killed. He was a charming yet rebellious bad boy. In the bar he frequented, Stefan definitely shone like a star. A blonde beauty caught his eye, and Stefan marked her as his prey. But to his surprise, she was even more daring than he was. She leaned in and licked Stefan's lips. But Stefan had just fed, and the taste of blood still lingered.
You're still wearing your date. She's lovely.
This woman was no ordinary person. Bad boy Stefan had met his match. Later, Klaus takes Stefan to the bar where they met years ago. To their surprise, the singer from decades ago was still alive. It turned out that Gloria was a powerful witch who had used magic to extend her life. Klaus had come to seek answers from her. Gloria told Klaus that to understand the reason for the failed transformation, she must first connect with the witch's ancestors. She needed an artifact, and it was in the possession of Klaus's sister, Rebekah. Meanwhile, Stefan found a photograph at the bar, and the discovery shocked him so much that he interrupted their conversation. But Klaus wasn't surprised at all.
Chicago's a magical place.
This is me. With you.
Elsewhere, Damon received an early morning call from Catherine. She somehow knew about Klaus's movements and wanted Damon to rescue Stefan. Who knew what this troublemaker Catherine was plotting now? After getting the news, Damon immediately went to find Elena, only to discover she was still sleeping in. When Elena heard they were going to find Stefan, she tolerated Damon's various annoying behaviors. Damon, ever thoughtful, even brought along Stefan's diary to help Elena understand the darkest side of Stefan. They arrived at Stefan's old apartment, which had been abandoned for decades and was covered in a thick layer of dust. Damon opened the secret room behind the cabinet, revealing a collection of fine wines and, on the wall, a death list. The names were packed tightly together. These were all people who had died at Stefan's hands. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. Damon prepared to head to Stefan's favorite bar to search for him and instructed Elena to stay hidden. Stefan couldn't remember that period of his life, but the old photo couldn't be faked. He demanded to know why Klaus hadn't told him the truth. It turned out that Stefan had quickly won over the blonde beauty, and the necklace he gave to Elena had once belonged to this woman. She was Klaus's sister, Rebekah.
It's late, Rebekah. We're leaving.
Get off me!
Who is this guy?
Stefan, don't. He'll kill you.
At that time, Klaus was nothing but a violent man, filled with hostility towards Stefan, the bad boy who dared to date his sister. Stefan never imagined that he had once been romantically involved with the originals. During their conversation, Klaus opened a coffin. The withered beauty inside was Rebekah. Klaus gently caressed his sister's face. It turned out that all these years, Klaus had been keeping his siblings with him.
Don't tell her that. Rebekah's temper's worse than mine.
While waiting for Rebekah to wake up, Klaus explained what had happened all those years ago. At that time, Stefan had an uncanny talent for tormenting people, which left Klaus in awe. Even after learning of the true identities of Klaus and his sister, Stefan remained calm and composed. Klaus and Rebekah were very close, and with Rebekah's protection, Stefan didn't feel afraid of Klaus at all. At that moment, a man approached and angrily berated Stefan, demanding to know what he had done to his wife. Klaus waited, anticipating Stefan's embarrassment, but Stefan first helped the man find his wife. Then, as the couple was about to leave, Stefan graciously invited them to stay for a drink. The couple were hypnotized and could only do as they were told. Stefan began his twisted little lesson in Torment by slashing the woman's wrist. It was a small act, yet incredibly evil.
I'd like you to join me for a drink. What kind of sick freaks are you? I said, drink.
The man was fully conscious but unable to control his body, and he was forced to drink his wife's blood. When Klaus revealed this dark chapter of Stefan's past, Stefan refused to believe it because he had no memory of it. Klaus decided to take Stefan to a place that would reveal his darkest side. After they left, Damon arrived at the bar. He and Gloria were old acquaintances. Gloria informed him that Stefan and Klaus were back together, calling them a match made in hell. But when Damon asked about Klaus's intentions, Gloria warned him not to get himself burned. Klaus was heading to Stefan's old apartment, where Elena was currently hiding. Klaus intended to show Stefan the death list in the secret room. The names on that wall were all victims of Stefan's killing spree. Stefan had written down the names to relive the thrill of the kill. Klaus opened the secret room, wanting Stefan to relive the experience, but Elena happened to be hiding inside. Stefan's veins pulsed when he saw her. Under immense pressure, they exchanged a deep, silent gaze, saying everything without uttering a word. Elena's eyes were filled with tenderness, and Stefan's gaze grew more resolute.
Look what I found.
After Stefan and Klaus left, Damon rushed in, bringing a beautiful dress with him. He wanted Elena to dress up carefully so she could persuade Stefan to change his mind.
But you're gonna have about 5 minutes tops before that hybrid freak rips my heart out, so please, tell me you can do this.
I can do this.
Damon was ready to risk his life to save his brother. If Stefan were merely evil, it wouldn't be enough for Klaus to value their friendship. The truth was, Stefan had once proposed a partnership. As an original vampire, Klaus's life isn't very exciting. It's not even as thrilling as Stefan's. A vampire with only a century of history, Stefan wanted to build a vampire empire with Klaus, and this idea captivated Klaus. Klaus opened up to Stefan, admitting, "My sister might be infatuated with you now, but once she loses interest, she'll leave you without a second thought." Stefan had been one of the few friends with whom Klaus could truly connect, but all good things are fleeting. One day, an attack forced them to part ways. The police were using wooden bullets. Rebekah exclaimed in terror, "He's coming after us." Even the original siblings had no choice but to flee. In the chaos, Rebekah's necklace was lost in the bar. Stefan wanted to go pick it up, but Klaus stopped him. To avoid exposure, Klaus was forced to erase Stefan's memory, but he promised, "One day, I'll find you again, brother."
Thank you. I had forgotten what it was like to have a brother.
Stefan stood there in confusion, forgetting everything about the Michelson siblings. The truth was, Klaus had his reasons. He wasn't just protecting himself, he was also protecting Stefan. Stefan was sharp enough to deduce that Klaus was hiding from someone who was hunting him. Even after Klaus broke the seal, he didn't dare speak the person's name, revealing a fear that was deeply ingrained. At that moment, Damon signaled from the shadows. Stefan used the excuse of needing to feed to slip away, and as soon as the brothers met, Stefan angrily berated his brother. "Klaus can't create new hybrids, so before the witches discover the truth, take Elena and leave, and tell Elena to forget about me."
Tell yourself.
Damon, trying to buy time, bravely confronted Klaus, who sneered at him, and in the face of Damon's provocation, Klaus has the urge to kill. Elena, trying to reach Stefan with love, pleaded, "Come back with me," but Elena was hiding a vial of vervain, planning to use the same old trick again. However, the blood-fed Stefan was much stronger now, and he easily overpowered Elena.
I don't want to come home.
As Klaus was torturing Damon, just as he was about to kill him, Gloria intervened, defusing the situation entirely. Klaus told Damon that when Stefan remembered his old self, he would not go back. To make Elena give up on him, Stefan said many heartless things. "I don't want to see you anymore. You've been the one holding me back from my true nature, and now I'm free."
That part of my life is done. I don't want to see you. I don't want to be with you.
Stefan turned and walked away resolutely, but inside, his heart was bleeding. They had officially broken up. When Klaus returned to the warehouse, he found his sister's body missing and the caretaker dead on the spot. Rebekah's temper upon waking was no joke. Back then, Rebekah had grown tired of their life on the run, and she couldn't let go of Stefan, so she insisted on staying behind. Klaus was scared if they didn't leave soon, that person would catch up to them. Klaus pulled out the dagger with great pain, since he had unlocked his werewolf lineage. The white oak dagger could no longer harm him. Rebekah refused to talk to her brother. Klaus claimed he had a gift for her, and at his cue, Stefan walked in. Rebekah immediately beamed when she saw Stefan, but the Stefan in front of her gave her a strange feeling. Klaus quickly stepped forward and unlocked Stefan's sealed memories. A flood of memories flashed through Stefan's mind, and as if waking from a dream, he instinctively moved toward Rebekah. From behind came Klaus's call. "Hey, brother, don't forget about me."
I remember you. We're friends. We are friends.
But Klaus had no time for reminiscing. In order to solve the problem of turning hybrids, he asked his sister for the witch's ancestor's artifact. The artifact turned out to be the necklace Rebekah had lost, and Stefan instantly tensed up because he had given it to Elena. Even though Stefan had regained memories of that past love and friendship, it didn't change his current stance, which was to protect Elena. As it turned out, after that fateful incident, Rebekah's necklace was left behind in the bar, but what Stefan didn't know was that someone else had found it before him. It was the Dark Queen Catherine. This short haircut is really amazing, cold and retro and not to be desecrated. Catherine had intended to pick up the necklace, but to avoid being seen by Stefan, she hid in the shadows. After Stefan picked up the necklace, a gentle voice spoke behind him. The old man was looking for the Michelson siblings, but with Stefan's memories sealed, he narrowly escaped danger. It was clear that this old man was the one Klaus feared down to his core. Both Stefan and Catherine had seen his true face, and if they brought up this demon, Klaus would be in serious trouble.